So it'll be move out away. So it'll be move out away. So it'll be move out away. Look for the silver lining. Whenever a cloud appears in the blue, remember somewhere the sun is shining, and so the right thing to do is make it shine for you. A heart full of joy and gladness will always banish sadness and strife. So always look for the silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So lucky to be loving you. So lucky to be the one you run to see in the evening when the day is through. I only know what I know. The passing years will show. You've kept my love so young, so new. I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you. So lucky to be the one that you run to see in the evening when the day is through. I only know what I know. The past years will show. You kept my love so young, so new. And time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you, Yeah, boys. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Colin, I'm not sure. There's so many cameras in here that I'm not sure where to look. Which one should I look at?
You know what? This one would be good.
This one is going to be great. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Monk's Jazz, the foremost live streaming jazz institution in Austin with all of the shows every single week. We've been plugging them every week on another show that I have called Off the Bandstand, and it has been such an amazing thing that Colin Shook has curated here to keep jazz alive and keep the scene together and cohesive in a time where things are not so cohesive together. So anyways, thank you so much for taking the time out of your night, especially coming up here on the weekend to listen to us play a few tunes. The first couple tunes that you heard were Look for the Silver Lining, which is generally a little bit more cheery than that, being that the subject material is talking about looking for those silver linings. But I think that that is a sentiment we need to hold on to right now, even whenever what we tried to paint with the music is that it doesn't feel so cheery all the time. But if we just keep that faith and keep that hope and we keep coming through, then we'll come out on the other side. And then that was a new arrangement from me and David Mescatique called Time After Time. Not the Cyndi Lauper, as you probably heard just a second ago, but we're just trying to keep those old jazz standards in a new kind of way and bring maybe a little freshness to it. So anyways, this is the album release show for Between Love and Fascination, an album that we recorded last year and then had some delays with COVID, and then finally came out in July of 2020, and then now here several months later we're able to celebrate it in the safest way that we can. So thank you so much again for tuning in. Here's the first tune off of that new record. This is a bit of a different take on Witchcraft. Those fingers in my hair, that sly come hither stare, that strips my conscience bare, it's witchcraft, and I've got no defense for it. The heat is too intense for it. What good would common sense for it do me? 'Cause it's witchcraft, that wicked witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, when you arouse a need in me, my heart says yes indeed in me. Proceed with what you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one I never switch, 'cause there is no nicer witch than you. you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one I never switch, 'cause there is no nicer witch than you. All right, keeping it going. Trying to play some old charts and some new ways. That was a big thing with. I'm going to put my drink down for a quick second and not get some feedback in the monitor. This new album, Between Love and Fascination, I think I can talk about it just for a second, since this is an album release show, is, over the past 3 records, this was my 3rd record that I put out, and you learn an awful lot, in ways that maybe are a little bit more tough than you would like them to be, about what the kind of do's and don'ts are, and I'm sure that I will have many more lessons to learn, because I still have plenty of years to live. But on this record, I really wanted to kind of get the idea of making some newer sounds with older compositions, because there's a jazz bass player by the name of Clark Summers who's been somewhat of an informal mentor to me, but has really kind of paved the way for a lot of the way that I think about the jazz idiom and how I should be approaching these standards. And he said, how are you connecting with these tunes in a way in 2018? Are you presenting them in a compelling or provocative way? And basically, how are you presenting these tunes in a way that is worthy of these being recorded when so many people, hundreds of people, have recorded these standards over hundreds of times? So we tried to come at it from an honest place of just trying to create something new and something special. So we're going to keep going with another very classic Joseph Cosma standard. Here is Autumn Leaves, the 2nd track off of that record. One, two, That's Fabio Augustinus on the drums. The fallen leaves drift by my window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I feel your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands that I used to hold. And since you went away, those days grow long. Oh, and soon I'll hear old winter song, but I'll miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. And since you went away, those days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I'll miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. When they start to fall, when they start to fall, away, 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 It's odd not having anybody in the room, isn't it? Yep. It's weird not having anybody in the room. Well, I should take just a quick second. I know Colin is going to make an announcement, but we're, like 3-4 tunes in, and I still haven't introduced the band? What am I, a singer? Well, let's go ahead and introduce these guys who are doing the majority of the work. I like that. It's almost like we have a laugh track in the back of the room that is Colin Shook, who is... Man, let's just have a little bit of an appreciation for Colin Shook first and foremost. the person who took it upon himself. The rest of us were eating Cool Ranch Doritos and catching up on Call of Duty Modern Warfare and trying to figure out how we can do layaway plans for the PS5. And Colin Shook said, no, none of that. I'm going to start a brick and mortar jazz club, which is a continuation of the pop-up jazz club that has been Monk's Jazz. Yeah, Colin. So Colin Shook, thank you very much, sir. You are doing the most. Let's go ahead and introduce this fine band. Over here on my right, we have David Mescatique, my collaborator of 5 years. Over here in the back, up on the stool, because, you know, it was actually a request. He said, I want to be above everybody else, just to a certain extent. The most humble guy in the room, Marco Antonio Santos on guitar. We got the least humble guy in the room, save only for the singer, James Suter on the upright bass. It's pretty bright in here. I understand the need for the shades. And then we got Fabio Augustinus with all the grooves on the drums. And then to my left, we have the person who is the exact one and only reason why I take solos first and I don't have to follow anybody. We got, with all the notes, Matthew Maldonado on the saxophone. All right, and I think Colin wants to say a few words. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can, from the comfort of your living room and your couch, please give a nice, warm welcome and hand to our host, Colin Shook.
Yeah. Thank you, Christian. Thank you. My name's Colin. I'm a pianist here in town. About 4 years ago, I started Monk's Jazz, a pop-up listening room. We use art galleries and bicycle shops and coffee shops and all kinds of random venues to do these listening room concerts. And we started streaming at the end of May, and we're a little bit over 40 concerts so far. It's really amazing, this pool of musicians here in town. And I feel really lucky to have been in a place to put something like this together, to present all these wonderful musicians. And Christian and I have been talking since then about putting a show together, but there's so many factors with things in Texas and different venues and people out of town. This is really awesome to hear this record live in this room. So please put your hands together for Christian and these amazing arrangements. You know, use the clapping hands emojis, the fire emojis, all those kinds of things. That's the currency. That's how you let the internet know that this is an awesome concert, and Facebook will serve it more places. If you're here on Facebook, come on over to YouTube. It's linked right there. The quality's just about twice as good with the audio and the video. Also, if you look in your top left corner, there are some payment handles. I've also put the URLs down in the description. Please support these guys tonight. You know, $5 or $10 goes so far. If you got 20 or 50, that's amazing. So many great family members and close friends tune in, but we have a lot of people who have seen these shows before. They tune in, and if you can put $5 or $10 in these guys' pockets, as a whole, it really comes together. Also, in that description is the monksjazz.com. Go to that website, sign up for our email list. Like I said, we've done tons of streams. We have streams coming up this Tuesday with Jacob Weiss. On Thursday is the Ryan Hagler Quartet. We've got Paulo Santos and Eternal coming up, Peggy Stern. There's just so many tunes in December, so many bands in December. It's really an amazing thing to be doing this. So, you know, think about what you might be paying if you were in a club listening to this amazing music and you get to see it at home. We've got these 4 cameras, all these microphones. We're working really hard to give you the most intimate experience you can have while all these places are closed. So with that said, please make a donation to Christian and these fine musicians up here tonight. And I'm going to give it back over to Christian. What do you guys have next?
Well, now, masks, people. Masks are important. Masks are important, except for singers, right? No, okay, so here we go. Now that he is so graciously and at length has plugged this new record, we are going to play something that is not off the record, but it is a brand new thing. Not only is it a brand new lyric, it's a brand new composition that comes from David Mescatique. David is working on a new record that is paying a bit of an homage to Nat King Cole and wanted to write a blues, wanted to write like a hard bop blues, and asked me if I could write something that was a little bit more in the spirit of John Hendricks, the father of vocalese. And so he wrote this tune and then sent me the sheet music, and it took me far too long to get you a first draft. I apologize for that, but here's something for you. Here is Sunday Kinda Blues. that feels good. Tell you what. Now dig it. Each one of the same as before. She never lets me go. Feeling so lonely. Now morning's turned into the night. I don't know where the hours go. I plan for Sunday morning whenever my baby walks through the door. Wait just a minute, I'll play it cool. I'm thinking I might have a chance at romance. Go on, just play it cool. Instead of the usual game, just take it nice and slow now. I'll plan for Sunday morning whenever my baby walks through the door. Swabba-doo-way, pop-doo-way, how-they-boo-boo, we out. Swabba-doo-way, de-boo-way, ba-doo-de-boo-doo-way. Swabba-doo-way, ba-ba-doo-ba-doo-way, you-bow-wow-oh-oh-bow-oh-bow-way, I'll do. Sway-loo-bow, sway-loo-bow, sway-loo-out. Swabba-doo-bow-boo-boo-way-boo-boo-boo-way. That is Matthew Maldonado on the saxophone. way down, do way out, so way, way. Wow. Now dig it. Each morning the same as before. She never lets me go, feeling so lonely. Now morning started into the night. I don't know where the hours go. I'll plan for Sunday morning whenever my baby walks through the door. Wait just a minute, now play it cool. I'm thinking I might have a chance at romance. Go on, just play it cool instead of the usual game. Just take it nice and slow now. I'll plan for Sunday morning whenever my baby walks through the door. Man, how about these guys? David Mescatique on the piano, composer and arranger. Matthew Maldonado on the saxophone. Fabio Augustinus killing it on the drums.
Yeah, dude.
We want to take a moment to thank Dunkin' Donuts for the cups this evening. They are not a sponsor, but we are hoping that they would see this and become a future sponsor. So Dunkin' Donuts, if you're out there listening, jazz musicians, it's the way to make so much money. You can make so much money as a jazz musician, especially if you sponsor that. So please, Dunkin' Donuts, if you would, just be good to us. All right. And while we're talking about plugs and promotions, again, like Colin had said, I keep bending over and grabbing different things. I think it's like right there. There is a Venmo and there is a PayPal.me. I like to think I'm pretty hip with technology, but PayPal.me, I'm not really sure. It's the same as PayPal, and we would appreciate it, like Colin said, if you have even just a, there's no donation that is too little, even if it's, I must have missed a joke in the background. Matthew Maldonado is just cracking up. You'll have to tell me later. I would love to.
I'll tell you now.
He'll tell me now.
Don't do it.
All right, well, again, there is a Venmo and there is a PayPal address up there, usernames. If you would like to make a donation to the band, we would greatly appreciate it. Not only will it benefit the musicians on stage, but it will also benefit the guy who's making all these multi-cam and multi-track, perfectly mixed sounds coming at you with Colin Shook over there. So if you don't like us, you probably like him, so, it all comes out in the wash. Anyways, so we are going to keep it going now. Oh, I'm very excited for this chart. Okay, so as described, as promoted, this concert is really just a mixture of tunes that were from Between Love and Fascination, a few that are coming up on Esperanza Crossing, which will be the next studio record that we make whenever things are safe again. And then also, we're going to do a few tunes of people who have inspired me and really kind of shaped the way that I think about arranging and collaborating with my dear friend here, David Mescatique. And this is one that was written by Stu Mindeman that is based off of a Franz Wright text, a great poet. And this is on the new Kurt Elling record from 2018 called The Questions. Here is a tune called A Happy Thought. Assuming this is the last day of my life, which might mean it is almost the first. struck blind, but my blindness is bright. Prepare for what's known here as death. Have no fear of that strange word, forever. Even I can see there is nothing there. Nothing there to be afraid of, having already been to forever. I'm unable to recall anything that scared me there for her. What frightened me, apparently, and hurt was being born. But I got over that with no hard feelings. Dying, I imagine it will be the same deal, lonesomer maybe, but surely no more shocking or prolonged. It's dark as I recall, then bright, so bright. It's dark as I recall, then bright. That is the symbol of approval. When you get from James Suter, when you get the magnifique, that is when you know that you've done. Huh? Well, you know, this is a family show, so. So another thing that we want to plug that is not like it's certainly not like an official sponsor or anything like that, but being that we are in a pandemic and we're in a time where healthcare is so important and so useful is like the most mild way to put it. One of the groups in town, especially here in Austin, that is doing the most is a group called the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. It's called HAM, and I make sure that I drink at least a few of these a day because I think it promotes good health and being healthy and hydrated, or at least Lydia Chin, my better half, tells me. And so I like to drink a few of these a day, and I always look at it and think about how much HAM has benefited the musicians here in Austin for a myriad of different healthcare reasons, but especially during this time. I mean, they are doing the most. And then also to, give some praise to another organization here in town that I have directly benefited from, Austin Jazz Society. Has been active for decades here in Austin, and they have an initiative that you probably, if you're familiar with the Monk shows, you're probably familiar with it. It's an initiative called Project Safety Net, and every 3 weeks, I believe, they do a fundraiser show where all of the proceeds and all of the donations go towards Project Safety Net, and they are providing grants 2 different jazz musicians in town who are at risk and who have lost a large amount of income. So if you also have a few dollars to spare for Project Safety Net and the folks over at Austin Jazz Society, they are truly doing the most, and I can personally attest to that. They are amazing human beings. And Colin has a thing.
That's every Tuesday.
That is every Tuesday. I said every 3 weeks. It is every Tuesday.
Get it, Colin.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, did you say get them, Colin?
Yeah.
I like these guys because they keep me honest. They're my friends, but they also keep me honest. So the next tune that we're going to do is back to the record. And this is one that I arranged directly with my collaborator, David Mescatique. Here is a tune called That Old Feeling, or as the comic jokester in the writing room whenever he was writing the chart, put that old feeling, because we are in Texas. But for those of you who want to go and find this on Spotify, you're gonna have to subtract the apostrophe, put that D on the end. All right, here is That Old Feeling.
Give me that. I know. You make it too easy.
One chorus each. Yeah, one chorus each.
So we go back to the vamp after.
We go back to the vamp every time.
After the first chorus, so no repeat on the solo.
Thanks, bro.
This is what a real show is like, ladies and gentlemen. It's just deliberating back and forth. All right, and now to your regularly scheduled program.
So it's like 1, 2, 1?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I saw you last night and got that old feeling. When you came in sight, I got that old feeling. The moment you danced by, I felt a thrill. And when you caught my eye, my heart stood still. Once again, I seem to feel that old yearning, and I knew the spark of love was still burning. There'll be no new romance for me, it's foolish to start, 'cause that old feeling is still in my heart. Once again, I seem to feel that old yearning, and I knew the spark of love was still burning. There'll be no new romance, it's foolish to start, 'cause that old feeling is still in my heart. Should you wait for you, babe, there's like almost an emotional, like there's an emotional feeling whenever I listen to these guys play, because growing up in a musical household, it was always something where you always wanted to aspire to be better, and you wanted to aspire to play with the kind of people that you hear on the records that you're growing up listening to, and to have arrived at a checkpoint where I'm able to share the stage, where they are able to put up with a singer for 90 minutes and play some charts, and especially with David, the way that we wrote this record was a lot of trial and error of my ideas, being that he has more chordal knowledge than me of what can sound good. I did the classic singer trope a couple of years ago of like, oh, I just want it to be darker, or I just want it to be this, or I just want it to be that. I didn't have the technical terms, and I think the real mark of somebody who is a great collaborator is someone who can take the ideas that you have in your head that you don't quite know what those specific terms are, and bring it to life, and then to be able to cut a record, but even to just share the stage with people where they are able to bring those visions to life is a very emotional and very special thing. So, guys, thank you so much for putting up with a singer for 90 minutes, and now that has been your weekly dose of some nice sentimental talk. Let's get back to the tunes. All right, so the next one that we have for you is one that was quite challenging with the record. I knew I wanted to do a vocalese. If you're not familiar with vocalese, it is where you take a tune that previously existed with the melody, and also maybe a solo that was recorded that is an instrumental thing. It's not with lyrics, and then you put lyrics after the fact. More times than not, you can find that these may be a little bit hokey and a little bit cheap with some of the lyrics. So it really takes a lot of dedication and figuring out different things and doing your research to find a way to make it properly work. So here is a tune called Nardis that I wrote about a lyric about the relationship between Miles Davis and Bill Evans, because of the fact that it was technically written by Miles Davis, but it was gifted to Bill Evans, and Bill Evans kind of made it what it is. And a quick shout out to a guy who I think is watching, Steve Silberman, who writes for Wired magazine and wrote a piece for Believer magazine called Broken Time, which ended up being the title of this vocalese on this record. Here is Nardis.
Hey, Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one.
Okay, great.
Cool.
Yeah, just a little intro. A word lost in translation stays. Its secret kept in broken time, like embers in a quiet fire. There sparks a glow, igniting flame, whispered enigmatic fables, obscuring mystic tones. A word lost in translation stays. Its secret kept in broken time. His curtain softly dances in the evening breeze, yielding translucent sunset light. Alone and sewed in an apartment, unconcerned of what surrounds. A creative tempest brews what is past has now become prologue. 83rd and Western Avenue saw the inception of copious stories told, inscribing every theme with restless pen, his careful scope of vision. A vision of late night endless dues, waiting for trains in the wee hours, a pilgrimage signaled by siren's call. A call prompting creative explorations, a guiding force paving a path of perception, idiomatic interplay, elemental bond, marvelous dialogue. Modal architects and exercise in elegance, digging on foreign stones. Sonic crystal notes of the white water cascading down amongst some clear waterfall framing, every last nuance and a constant reformation of disparate tones. An evolution of severe and unique disciplines of innovative minds, returning to a new identity, his own. Inciting journeys and rebirths set in motion, sketching on a porch of a time remembered, consciously abiding by common desire. Suddenly far and away, above anything that was touched before, a thrilling revelation of a milestone taking form, immortalized moments of broken time linger on, following idioms. Simplicity framing meaningful reflections of exquisite views, set on an ever new elusive canvas. A word lost in translation stays. Its secret kept in broken time, like embers in a quiet fire. There sparks a glow, igniting flame, whispered enigmatic fables, obscuring mystic tones. A word lost in translation stays. Its secret kept in broken time. Its secret kept in broken time. Its secret kept in broken time. That's a lot of words. That is a lot of words. All right, let's see. Okay, so the next tune we're going to do is one that is also out of the category of the people who inspire me most. This is a tune from Carla Bley called Lawns, and it is a lyric from Kurt Elling. We have a show called Off the Bandstand where I have actually, in the past 5 weeks, if you go and check this out, save only for James Suter, I've interviewed all of these guys, and we just talk about anything for about anywhere from 60 to 120 minutes, 1 to 2 hours, and we just kind of chat about anything and everything, so you can get an idea of what these guys are like off the bandstand and kind of their process, what they're working on, different things. And in each episode, I always say, I don't think we've made it yet through an episode where I haven't mentioned Kurt Elling's name, and I don't think that all I have to start saying is, and then these guys go, ugh. But really, if you are not hip to Kurt Elling yet, he is the guy. He is the guy, man. So go and check him out. But here is a lyric from him called, you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? As soon as you listen to him, you will understand why he deserves all this praise. So here is a tune called Lawns. It's a lyric from Kurt and the composition from Carla Bley. Here is Lawns.
Yeah, let's do that.
Afloat and all at sea, the stars align in threes. They're so fine and free in blue and in green, like these on endless tree. Come climb the skies with me. Come here and come to see. Melody in perfect symmetry, in love, in rhyme, in key. I went out at night alone. The young blood flowing beyond the sea seemed to have drenched my spirit's wings. I pour my sorrow heavily, but when I lifted up my head from shadows breaking on the snow, I saw Orion in the east burn steadily as long ago. From windows in my father's house, dreaming my dreams on winter nights, I watched Orion as a boy above another city's lights. Years ago, dreams ago, and youth goes to the world's heart breaks beneath its wars. All things are changed, save in the east the fateful beauty of the stars. All things are changed, all things are changed, save in the east the fateful beauty of the stars. So come climb the skies with me. Come here and come to see. Anyone else feel God here tonight? Woo!
Back in Lake Jackson.
Shout out to my Lake Jackson folks.
Shout out to the real Christian.
Tell you what.
Sorry.
Woo! Oh man, need a breather after that one. Colin, what time we got?
I'd say we got one. It's 8:49.
8:49.
We
All
got
right.
one more good one.
Can I say something, Christian?
Of course, Colin. Tell them about the emojis.
Please give it up for Christian and this fantastic band out there in the chat. Again, you're listening to Monk's Jazz. We're doing these live streams 2 or 3 times a week. Please go like the Facebook page. If you're here on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. We have so many great shows coming up. Next Tuesday is the Jacob Weiss Quartet. That's a part of the Austin Jazz Society Tuesday night series every Tuesday. After that is the Ryan Hagler Quartet on Thursday. Peggy Stern is coming up after that. Paulo Santos and Eternal. We've got, I said Jacob for next Tuesday, yes. You guys are making jokes back there. You gotta pay attention. Please do go to Christian's PayPal and Venmo and support this amazing band. This is really a treat to have 6 musicians that are so in tune with each other and playing so well. So you guys are in for a treat tonight. If you're just tuning in, this concert will be archived just like every other show on the YouTube channel right after this. It's really a pleasure to be able to bring music to you at home and on your phone and on your big screen and nice speakers and all the beautiful ways to consume this amazing music. What do you guys have last for us, Christian?
We got one more tune for you, and this is going to be a tune that, if I'm not mistaken, jazz aficionados, if you want to correct me in the comments, feel free to do so. This is a tune written by Joey Calderazzo that is featured on the Branford Marsalis quartet record called Upward Spiral from 2016.
It was a very good year.
What was the name of that?
It was a very good year. The last tune was Lawns.
Like
Lawns.
Is it yours?
No. That last tune originally comes from Carla Bley off of a record that I think released in 1973 called Sextet, which is terribly appropriate because of the fact that this is a sextet that we have here. And then it's a really hip album cover too. And then if you want to check out those lyrics, then you can check out the 2018 record, The Questions from Kurt Elling. That's his. Oy.
So close.
So close. They were like, he was so close, he wasn't going to say it. Okay, so the next tune, last tune that we have for you is a Joey Calderazzo composition with a lyric, again, from, I'm just going to call him He Who Shall Not Be Named. We're going to get a little Harry Potter lore in here, which is Kurt Elling. And so we are going to do this last tune for you. If you are interested in hearing Between Love and Fascination, if you're on a budget, go check out all those streaming platforms. You can go and check all that for free. Between Love and Fascination came out July 24th of 2020. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, everywhere that you find your music. And then if you want to support it directly, you can buy it on any of those platforms. You can also find it on Bandcamp digitally. And if you want an old-fashioned physical CD, then you can go over to christianwiggs.com/store. Again, that's christianwiggs.com/store, and I'll make sure to put that in the mail for you just as soon as you order it. And we just got those in the other day. It's very exciting. And that's it, really. Again, right here in the corner, there's a little black box, and it has the Venmo and it has the PayPal. Even $1 helps. Even a penny helps. Even a little Abraham Lincoln on a brown little coin helps. The PS5 ain't gonna buy itself. For me, I'm more of an Xbox Series X kind of guy, but Matt, he really needs that PS5. So, anyways, thank you so much again for tuning in. My name is Christian Wiggs. Here is a tune called "The Return" or "Upward Spiral." Every grain of sand that's washed upon the shore will eventually roll home. Every leaf on every tree that falls to autumn leaves a greener stem to grow, becoming the leaves that adorn every tree in spring. Every wave that breaks the surface of the deep, to know a moment in the sun, just as suddenly returns to twilight sleep. Everyone lives only seconds and it's done. It's only the way that the ultimate mystery spun. Every breath you take, you borrow from air, giving back some part of you. Everything that lives has a birthright from the stars. A current passes through the person who you are. And though the distance is far, you'll return to your mother's sky as a star. David Mescatique on the piano. every wave that breaks the surface of the deep, to know a moment in the sun, just as suddenly returns to twilight sleep. Everyone lives only seconds and it's done. It's only the waves that the ultimate mystery spun. Every breath you take, you borrow from air, giving back some part of you. Everything that lives has a birthright from the stars. A current passes through the person who you are, and though the distance is far, you'll return to your mother's sky as a song. You'll return to your mother's sky as a song. You'll return. Thank you so much again for tuning in. My name is Christian Wiggs. We have David Mescatique on the piano, my dear collaborator. We have Marco Antonio Santos on the guitar. We have James Suter, one of my favorites, on the bass. We have Fabio Augustinus on the drums. We have Matthew Maldonado on the saxophone. My name is Christian Wiggs. If you want to get a copy of Between Love and Fascination, you can head over to christianwiggs.com/store. If you want to donate to the band and help us pay a few bills in the middle of a pandemic, you can go over to that black box right there, Venmo, PayPal, whatever works best for you. And we sincerely cannot wait until we are able to share an evening with you again, live in person in a room. And we'll play many of these arrangements whenever that happens, and we'll take all the requests that you want. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in this evening. My name is Christian Wiggs. Good night. You'll return to your mother's sky as a star. I don't know if we're out yet, but thank you so much for tuning in. straightforward.
Yeah, Marco, you got the